Hey, it's Thursday morning, about 10:30 a.m. I'll just check the time. Yeah, 10:46 a.m. Basically, what happened was I was supposed to go to work today, and I have my little bag packed. This is my little work bag here. I have my little work bag packed with all the tools I needed in it, and the glue gun, the sander, and the paintbrushes, and then I had a rock melon in there and some biscuits. Anyways, I was all set to go, and then I rang my client to tell her, oh, sorry, I've just been on a 2-hour conversation with someone. I thought it was only an hour, and I'm going to actually be about 20 minutes late. And she basically said, look, I've got heaps of down in Perth. Maybe could you not come today? I went, yeah, okay, that suits me great because I actually have so much to do at home. I'm already in my work clothes and I'll get in action. This is at 8 o'clock in the morning, nearly 3 hours later. And the reason why I'm doing this live is because I'm going to do a walk around and show you what it is that I need to do on this land, how desperately I need to get back my mojo back. And if any of you want to come up and help me, I actually really need help. It's quite hot up here. It's going to be really, 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 really hot tomorrow. If I do not get the mulch on my garden, plants are going to die. My body's actually okay today. I don't have a huge amount of injuries. But yep, it's already 11 o'clock, so it's already really, really, really hot. But I'm going to have to keep going because otherwise my garden's going to die. I've got retic issues. I've got so much going on. So I was going to start from the front and then walk around, and this whole life is about home, me trying to create home, the amount of work I've got to do this place, how overwhelmed I feel. I don't even feel settled here. It's really hard to work. I find it very difficult to work on my home when I don't feel like it's actually my actual true real home, or when I don't feel completely settled, or I don't know what the future holds. I realise that I have massive issues around security, like I need to know. Segue. The reason why I did 3 months worth of renos, what should have taken me 1 year, and why I did it in 3 months, was because when my partner and my fiance and I, last year in June, it was April, May, June of 2000 and I've lost track of time. So not this year just gone, but the year before, 2021. So around the March, April, May, God, I've lost track of time. Anyways, early last year, not this year, but early last year, we started looking around all these country towns to find a country town that we wanted to live in. And then when we found the country town that suited us great, and then we decided to really focus on that area to find a really good house. Then when we found the perfect house, we didn't actually want to lose it. And even though the property that we had to sell in order to buy this place was nowhere near ready for sale, we put an offer on this house, which then meant I had to rush the renos to get them finished, which is how all my body injuries happened. And we had to do that because we said to the owners of this property here, look, we haven't even got the house on the market. It's not even ready for photos. And I really wished in hindsight that I hadn't put that pressure on myself, and maybe this property would have gone. And the next one, sorry, Alvin, my 14-month-old dog just fucking pissed on me. He just fucking pissed on my leg. What the fuck? That's disgusting. Anyway, so this is my mulch area. This is my mulch. The first thing we did when we came up here was get a massive big truck full of mulch. $500. It was actually about 7 times that size. And in 1 year I've used so much mulch, but I've just got so much mulching to do. I keep mulching and mulching and mulching, and it keeps going into the sand. There's a lot of sand here. And I'm turning the sand into soil. So what I'm going to do is start off at the front and come through the back of all the jobs that I need to do, all the work that I need help with, And if anyone wants to come up and spend some time up here with me, then I'll show you the house if you like, just so you can actually see what it is I'm dealing with and why I get so overwhelmed. I so desperately want to wake up like I used to. Like this time last year I was getting up. This time last year, this is the area I was working on. It's a mess now, but I took all the shade cloth away. This was all closed in. I was building this garden bed here. I was doing this paving. I was doing all this planting. I was just doing heaps of gardening. So basically, and I was working out the front, doing heaps of gardening out the front. What I'm going to do now is just take you through the front, and then I'll have it around the other side so that you can just see what I can see. And I'll go through the different... Stay there, Zena. Look at Zena. Look at cute little Zena. So basically, what I'm going to do is show you... I'll just show you me. What actually happened. Hey, Pia. So basically, I'll turn it around now. So what I actually did, went too far from the Wi-Fi. So this is the front of the house, and you can see it's all very quite hot and gravelly. This is the garden rock bed that I finished the other day, and I've got to put a bit more mulch on that, but that's okay. I need to put a pipe in here, a tunnel in here, dig a trench and put a pipe in to bring the water through over to, can't even see what you can see actually. Can you see my finger? Oh yeah, there it is, right there. So I'm going to have to bring it down, a drain down here and bring it up like this and trench this out and terrace all this out, because the water, I've got all this water retic problem happening, and every time I've got too much water, look at what's happening. It's all going down the pathway and down the road. So much water wastage. So if I can at least collect the water and put it here and actually put the water into a garden bed, then I won't have so many problems. This is the garden bed that I created. It's all water-wise plants, and that's really heavily mulched and got heaps of horse poo, and I just water that once every 2 weeks, and it's okay. These are self-seeded little trees here that were tiny, and now they're just, I'll probably have to dig them up and move them. They might be too close to the electricity pole. But this area here is okay. But up here, you can see I've got some real major water problem going on, and I keep getting this big water leak. It's really stressed me out, everyone, so I really need help with this as well to work out what on earth is happening here, because this just fills up with water. This whole thing gets completely mushed out, right? And you can dry, and here it's wet. So there's water coming through somewhere. It's a real stress, and this whole thing was just, you can see how wet it was, right? That's now rock hard clay, but that was mushy and wet, was slipping on it. Brad was helping me out. You can see our footprints. So this water comes up whenever I put the retic on, this fills up. So there's something happening with the retic, and I've got to pay. I've already got like a $4,000 bloody bill, $3,000 water bill. This is, God knows what it is now after all that water leakage there, alright? So that's one thing. The retic is big. This is the garden bed I did last year. The first thing I did was to cut back all the plumbago and the trachoma, which was all the way to the edge here. Dug it all up. Made it into soil. So, horse poo, heaps of mulch. And that's what I'm saying. I keep putting mulch down and it just disappears. But yeah, roses. It's coming along nice. And over here I planted more roses, and so this little one, I've got to get mulch onto her today. Okay, she's struggling. So mulch for the Melaleuca. This whole area, I've mulched this so many times. See this mulch? This is about the 7th time I've mulched it in 1 year. but it just disappears so fast. It's incredible. So mulching, retic is a big issue. I've got heaps of fencing to put up. Retic, and mulching. I've got to get onto this mulch today because apparently next few days are going to be really, really hot. So this whole area here, I've mulched it over and over again. I don't have a wheelbarrow, which makes it very, very difficult. But you can see everything's doing okay. But my God, it doesn't take long. This is the area that we had to dig up to try to work out where the water leak is coming from. I really can't quite work it out. And in this area here, I need to mulch. My cute little wandoo. And then the Agonis has just gone off. Like last year when I dug her in the ground, she was tiny. Look at that. Clissomon's going alright. Gonna mulch this little Clissomon's going alright too. This area here, guys, with the cement work, all this cement work, brickwork, mortar work, fixing up this portico. I thought maybe do that in a year or so, but if someone wants to come and help me, we go on top of that. We aggregate it, but it gets full of water down here too sometimes, so we have like an underground water thing, or it's a underground retic problem. I'm not sure yet. This is what I have to use as a wheelbarrow, which is not at all satisfactory, but you know, it's better than nothing. So there's that. I've got like, I want to fence off across here and across there, and plant out that area there so that the dogs can patrol the front and the side and the back. And then I'll just have this bit here as driveway. And I was going to maybe put a carport here because it gets really, really hot in Northern. So cars get damaged, plants struggle. Lots and lots to do on this house. I'm just going to show you everything, okay? This live is all about what needs to happen to make this place into a home, a proper, like, get-together. Want to build this up another 1/2 metre, so up to the railing sides for security, because at the moment, like, anyone can just get in. So we want to actually lift that up with paneling all the way up to the top, and construct something here so it's not so easy for people just to get in. This is an area I was working on halfway through last year. This used to just be the plumbago all the way to the edge, so I dug it all out. Planted heaps of plants in there, but the animals kept digging it up, so now I realise I've got to put things in pots. I've been terracing the land, and I really need rocks. I really need a truck of rocks. Rocks is what's holding me back. I need lots and lots and lots of rocks. Put the palm in there. I'm putting this little one in, and it's going to, got a blind going up in another blind. It flies these beautiful blinds that block out the sun and the rain. When that goes up, then I'll finish planting this out, and there'll be a water feature, like a bird bath or something there over time. This is also what I'm up to. We dug all these holes for retic, and I've got to fill everything in and repave. That area there needs to be repaved because I brought the rocks in. There used to be a garden bed going around like that, and I've brought them in because we're bringing the deck out. So I've brought the garden bed in and lifted it up and added all these rocks everywhere. And I've got, as you can see, I've got to fill it all in and finalise it because it got dug up because of the retic that Brad and I have been putting in. So I've got this, I got to fill in all the retic trenches, fill in all of this, fill in all this with paving, which means cutting pavers as well. I've got to get more rocks and finalise this garden bed up to here. keep planting that out, and then eventually get this beautiful garden bed here full of vegetables. That's all set to go. It's got a wicking plumbing, all set to go. It gets the washing machine water in there, all set to go. Just too much for me at the moment. And then obviously in here, I had this looking a bit better, but this is an area that I'm paving. And there was a garden shed there, and this was a secluded area, but now it's all been opened up, which is great. And so this is a garden bed that I built. There used to be a gate there going next door because the previous owners owned both properties, and that was their church. So these plants are all doing better than they were last year because I've got the retic in place, which I have to turn manually on, because if I leave it on automatic, it just leaks. That's our orchard, the apple, the pecan, the pomegranate, the lemon. So it's getting there. And all of these pavers have got to go up the back to where the new garden shed's going. And I need help with carrying them as well. As I said, all this retic needs to be buried in. But obviously that's what I'm going to... I don't know what's more important, the mulching, the digging in the retic. It's just like there's so many jobs to be done. And then get out of the garden, please, Zena. Alvin, out. Get out of the garden. I've got to fence off this area so they stop going in the garden. This is really stressing me out. They keep doing this. Get out. Sorry, everyone, about this. It's not funny. Get out of the garden. Get out. There's the rose. So basically, I've got more plants to go on the ground. I've got callistemons in here that I need to move. They don't look so good. That one's come good again, but this one doesn't look so good anymore at all. It's really weird. Sometimes I think it's slaters, you know. Yeah, this is where the retic station is, and it's a bit of a mess. It used to have a housing around it, and we took it down. Like, there's some of it there. I have to build something to protect all that wiring, because once the wiring goes out... Zena, out of the garden. Stay out, please. Once the retic gets... I'm worried about that wiring with the dogs. Hang on a second. Because she's still learning to stay. Alvin knows. Alvin actually knows not to go in the garden. But he just started going in it again. Because Zena, who's 13, 14 weeks old, has started going in it. So he goes, oh, I'm going to go back in the garden as well. But I actually had him trained not to go into the garden. So this is what happens when you bring a pup into your life. Things become a bit difficult. I've got this cute little water pond for them. I'll show you. Got some water for them so they can jump in. I'm going to get more ponds. There's the chook pen that I need to get the fence around. So I'll show you all this is a wheelbarrow that I've had a loan of, which I've still got. I forgot about that. I still got her from Catherine, so I'll use her today for the mulch, which I have to put up the front, which I just showed you. This is the chook pen that, it's so cute and beautiful. And I've got to get it all enclosed and box-proof all the way around. And I've got this fencing here. I've got heaps of this sort of fencing that I'm now going to bring around from around the peppy tree. Got to work out how much it's going to be for tricky chooks. Look at the dogs in the water. Oh, they're in there. So yeah, I'm bringing it around all the way around here and down. So I'm going to keep this area here as like a driveway, and that area there will be where, you know, the camper van and the ute goes. And the whole idea was to sell them as, so just have 2 cars. So so back to here, that's the area that I was going to fence off around, like in a circle around that garden bed. So this area here would have been the dog area. They can run like crazy. And all this area up here, I won't be so worried about them running in. Just make hardy plants there so they can run, it's shady. But over here, all this area here, and down the front, they don't have access to unless I can see what they're doing. Because so my plants stop getting squashed. And in here is where the retic water, there's something wrong. We dug all this up. We had to replace the old system, Brad and I, and there's so much work to be done still. Like, it's nowhere near finished already. And around here, there's another third pipe under here, which, no, it's not that one. This one here. This one here, we don't know where that one's going, so I have to dig all this out, follow it. It's probably going to go under these pavers and over here somewhere. And then possibly there's a leak around here, or I've got to dig all this up. Lots of digging to find out what the underlying water problem is. So that's pretty big as well. I've got Brad helping me sometimes, but apart from that, this is just me doing all this on my own. It's just way too much for me. It's just way too much. It's really too much, everyone. This is not what I signed up to do. Not on my own anyways. I mean, I don't mind hard work, but not all this on my own, hey, it's too much. And, yeah, so the other day, because I kept prepping this land for Anthony's 70th birthday, so this used to be full of, the jarrah, all the wood, all the building from the reno work. So I took that all up the back, and then started making this area pretty, with the intentions of making it even more pretty. But then, as you can see, I've got this mess here now. Because I started to do this paving work, and I started to bring the paving out, and I was going to bring it out towards the driveway where the cars get parked. I've got all these bricks up the back, and then there's retic happening now. I've got to get this sorted first, and I've got to keep this open until we solve that problem there. So the next thing I guess I'll show you is, I don't really need to show you inside. I could go up I'll just show you inside first before I go up to the back. You just got to remember. So I've still got the laundry, the library door there. The bathtub still needs to go back into the bathroom. And the problem with the bathroom, well, not the problem, but it was what you call a nasty surprise. We thought this bathroom was all perfect and finished, but it's actually not. It's actually got mold issues, and actually leaks water into the outdoor the outdoor toilet. So there's water problem there. So we're going to have to pull a fair few of these tiles off, take this shower down. So this shower's got to come down, and then apparently that's not too hard of a job. And then I have to pull up all these tiles, pull up the rest of the tiles all the way up. So the vanity's got to come out, the shower's got to come out, got to pull up all these tiles, and then got to level all the cement in here, fill up this bathroom and the two bathroom areas floors with cement up to the plinth, and then it can be tiled. I've already got the beautiful tiles, bought them on Gumtree, like these beautiful Italian porcelain tiles that are worth they were worth brand new about say $3,000 and a bit, got them for $50. Gumtree is so amazing like that. So this bathroom, this is really important to get this bathroom finished. I've got, the mirrors have got to go back in there, the tiles have got to go in there. We've got to still flush it. We've still got to put the metal corners in, flush it. And then, you know, get the tiles down. I put the bathroom back, and then that's at least the bathroom almost finished. The windows that are here, we've got to flush. We've got to put the corner metal flushing in, the corner metal wrap in there, and finalise this area, which will be nice. I've also got to get a doorknob on here. Got to finish gyp rocking this. And then this area, this floor here, will probably be done with parquet or something. And then, as some of you know, sorry about the dirty floor, as some of you know, this area here, I've still got to pull up all this lino, and then we've got to sand that wood back. But I've got a feeling that kitchen floor probably won't happen for a while, because all the kitchen, we've still got to work out shelving, how to design the kitchen, like what sort of design we want for the kitchen, so that it can be a functional kitchen, because at the moment it's not super functional. It's okay enough, but it's a hard kitchen to cook in. But it's better than it was before we knocked the wall out and put the dining room table in. So when we knocked the wall out and I put the dining room table in, that's opened it up and made it much, 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 much nicer to be here. And don't know how many of you have seen the deck since I've fixed it up and made it really nice, but yeah, I've got the planter pots in good, it's just starting to look really nice out here. So, but this, unfortunately, all the plants are getting really hot. Even if I water them every second day, I can't go away, really, because this area here, we've got to actually see the Christmas decorations. I'll show you. Cute, eh? And, yeah, that was Catherine. Catherine Simon did that. But see this gets really hot. It's like a microwave. The fan just got put in, that makes it cool, but there's Alvin and Zena trying to get up. Let's watch her jump. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Go on. You can do it. Go on. Still a bit small. She's a little bit small still. So there they are. Anyways, this deck is gets really hot and it needs insulating, and the plants get fried. So I actually can't really go anywhere because of all my garden, because the retic's not working. I can't put it on automatic, and I can't just put on automatic and leave. I can. The retic system is working enough that I can manually put on run and run the stations, but I've got to manually turn them over because somewhere along the line it's just dripping water in the wrong spot, and that's, yeah, I can't leave it. When I've left the tap on, that's when I came back to the river. So I'll just show you the walls here. All these walls are horsehair and plasterboard, and they're in absolutely terrible condition. Like, I'll show you. You can actually see, can you see the cracks? Like, it's just horrible. Like, they're in really bad condition, and all of the walls are like that. Like, every single wall in this house has got wall problems, which I did not realise when we bought it. So every single wall has issues and needs to be basically replaced, and God knows when that's going to happen because it's money and stuff. And like the fireplace is this glossy paint was just put on for sale value. It was really badly quality paint that had to be chipped off, and you probably can't see it, but it's bowing, so I've got to fix that up as well. And yeah, that's all okay. That's not, no, that's too major. Bathroom's really important. And I guess, and this is the area where the toilet, where the shower leaks out into the toilet. This is the back of the bathroom that's going to have to be clad, like, what do you call it, like insulated and clad in something. And I've got to finish off my paving here. I did all this paving here, but these areas here need to actually be glued on. And then this area will be cemented down and made look nice. You know, that comes in, I'll be finalised. It just looks so messy at the moment. It just overwhelms me. The shed is getting there. I'm getting more and more organised. I've got the boxes in. I'm starting to put things in places, and soon this shed will be, because I actually did the painting of the shelf the other day, so I could actually get everything put away. It was actually Wednesday 3 weeks ago when the shit started hitting the fan again, because I was forcing myself to get on top of all these jobs because I wanted to be. The sad thing is, 3 weeks later, I haven't actually been able to achieve that much because there's been all this trauma. So, fuck that day when I had vertigo, I might as well just stayed in bed. Fucking hell, I might as well just fucking stayed in bed that day, you know? Because painting that shelf with vertigo, I was trying to get this house ready for Christmas and Anthony's birthday. That's what set off this thing of why do you do things when you're not well. Today, I've got very mild vertigo, very minimal body pain. So my body feels great, my mind feels great. No, so my body feels great, my vertigo is... my body isn't in heaps of pain, like it's always in pain, but it's not in so much pain today. And my vertigo is pretty mild. So you'd say, oh, great day to get in action, get heaps done, but I can't get in action. I'm struggling. It's about 11:30 now. I'm struggling. I've got tinnitus in my ear. I'm struggling to get motivated because it's like, part of me just wants to run. Part of me just wants to just run from all this. It's just like, what the fuck? I've been working so hard to get this place to become home for over a year. I just keep getting these, just doing it on my own. I get a little bit of support from Brad. I get a lot of support from Brad when it comes up, but I have to pay him, and I don't know how I can afford to pay him. But I have to start paying him, you know. I've got to start paying him back for his hours. He doesn't just do his hours. He also buys what we need, like the gyp rock and he's spent so much money on supplies. You know, I've got to pay him back. And I've asked Anthony to help me to pay him back as well, because Brad now wants to start to be paid, which is very reasonable, right? So anyways, this shed, that workbench that you saw out, so this corner here is where the kitchen bench is going. So I'll just show you, just in case you're interested. I need help to carry this in as well. But this kitchen bench here, the kitchen bench from inside is going to go in here. I've just got to stabilise it and screw it in and whatever. And that will be the mosaic area. There are all my mosaic-y things in there. And then I've got to level not level per se, but it's called levelling. Got to level the cement and here, deal with all the cracks. It'll be really nice. And this back door that we took, Brad and I took the roller door off, and it had like a roller door on that side that was really heavy duty. I'll show it to you. And on that side there was an old wooden door. So we took all that and opened it up. And even winter that doesn't get full of rain, which is good. But going to put an aluminium sliding door in there for winter. That'll be nice. And in there will be the orchard. That'll be nice. In here I'll put another casing box, and I'll probably make it into a seat, like a bench. I think that'll be nice. It's a casing. That actually will work. It's a casing for here, but it's also a bench. Actually, that's what I'll do there. So it's a casing. So I pull all these bricks out. Anyways, anyone who wants to come and help me, Carl, you want to come and help me with this land? Please, come on board. I need help. That's the old cog from the roller. Now look at how strong and heavy that is. And I will show, that's my mess, Carl, that I've got to work out the retic stuff. Got to put fencing around here. So this bit is dog free and they can run around there. And then when I have to open the gate, I bring the dogs in here. So that area, so if people bring caravans in and stuff, the dogs are inside the fence, so I don't have to worry about them getting through the gate. This is the roller door that I was going to maybe use for the chook pen roof or something. because I have to keep the chooks cool in summer and warm in winter, because it gets very cold in northern in winter and very hot in summer. So this area up here is where I'm going to eventually build like a B&B chalet, or a room that can actually rent out a house. Like I was thinking 2 stories, and the front bit like a carport, and the top bit, the little veranda, because the views from up there are amazing. Amazing. I've got all my wicking beds, my garden wicking beds that I've got to put in place over there, and my, the compost heaps and the worm farms, and none of it's in action yet, the potting table, but at least it's all in one spot now. It was all pretty crazy before. And in here is the old chook pen. It's now the storage area, so it's a bit more organised. I've got the wire for the chook pens, heaps of wire. I've got these gates I got for $5 from a garage sale. And this is all the wood left over from knocking out the inside the house. It's all jarrah, because apparently it's going to become really, really hard to buy jarrah. Apparently jarrah is going to become impossible to buy soon, which is pretty sad, really, but that's sort of apparently where the world's going. It's crazy. It's madness sometimes what's happening in the world. So basically, this area out the back here is where I've got the copper poles I got for free from a garage sale. Heaps of fence palings. I've got heaps and heaps of fence palings, heaps and heaps of them. And the old garden shed that I've got to re-put up. And the garden shed's going in that corner there. I've measured it, it'll fit. So I've got to bring up those cement pavers, level this area out, put the cement pavers down, put the garden shed up. I'd love to have help with that. This is way beyond me, I feel. Yep, and then the fencing for the chook pen. And then the garden, and we fence off this. I was originally going to put a pond in here to get some self-sufficiency with water, because we get so much rain in winter and it's really hot in summer. But I'm not sure where to put it, because I was going to put it here. I realise 1/4 of an acre isn't really... See, if you can see this line here, that's where the cars have to travel. So we've only got really this bit here, right? Can you see my foot? This bit here to over there. I could take, but then what if the caravan runs into it? Or I could just bring the fence across here, down there, and on the other side of this tree. I've started digging the fence line there, but maybe I could bring it through here, and just bring it through here, make that the pond, which would be on the other side of the garden and between the road and the garden. But yeah, it's all a bit much. And on a Segway issue, and this is so relevant, everyone see that ute? I can't actually park that out the front very easily, or even leave this house very securely, because I've been informed to not get too lackadaisy. Like, the ute's already been stolen from me once. My husband got a mutual acquaintance of ours that he doesn't have any respect for, doesn't like, doesn't want to spend time with him. But he got him involved in stealing the ute from me. He gave the keys to this guy called Duncan to get him to steal the ute. But Duncan's a simpleton, and when he stole the ute, he informed the police that he was taking it. So he gave them his name and his address. So when we were like, "Where's the ute?" The police go, "Well, this guy, your mate took it." "What mate?" Duncan. I went, "Oh, wow, cool, Duncan's got the ute. Wow, how bizarre is that?" So now I never know when the ute's going to get taken, or so whenever I go shopping, or just whenever I go down into Northern and I park the car, I'm really quick to get back to it in case it gets taken, or I don't want to leave it out the front, which means I'm always having to use that, go through that back gate, and it's a trouble because I've had to keep Alvin inside and Xena inside because Alvin, he used to just sit there while you had the gate open and shut, but now the other day he ran through the gate and went off, and the rangers found him and $130 bill to get him back. So that's all very stressful. And with this house, I could change all the locks and stuff, but I don't actually want to go down that track. So whenever I leave the house and I lock this door, whenever I leave the house and I lock this back door here, I never, like the other night I came home and I went to unlock the door and it wouldn't open, and I went, oh my God, and I thought, fuck, they've fucking changed the fucking locks on me, and I'd just been out to take the dogs for a walk, so it's not like I could have been self-sufficient. I don't even think I had my wallet on me, you know what I mean? So it's a pretty horrible way to live, not knowing when I leave the house, if I'm going to be able to get in when I come back, or if I use the car in my local town, if when I come back the car's going to be there. I go do some shopping and I come back and the car's not there, or, it's awful. It's a really awful way to live, everyone. So that's impacting this whole... It's fucking awful. Like, this is a beautiful place to work. It's a magical land, but the zest. There's this... sorry, I had this shirt on because for the sun, but I'm in the shade now. It's way, way, way too hot. So, yeah, if anyone wants to come up and help me out up here, I'd really appreciate it. And I've got the guest room. I'll show it to you. So basically what happened was I had guests here for 26th of... how's this? My beautiful friend Catherine made that for my husband as a welcome home, because we thought he might come back on the 26th and drop in, and if he wanted to stay the night, it would have been the guest room, and she made that for him because this is how loved he is up here. But yeah, this is the guest room, and obviously the bed's not made because Christoph was in there, my friend's 20-year-old son. But yeah, this guest room is a pretty nice space, and it's going to be made nicer. So and it's cool in here. Like, this is really nice and cool. And it also has an aircon. Little Xena just came in. Oh, see, cute little Xena beaner. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so there you go. So if anyone wants to come up here and hang out with me and help me out, that's the guest room. And then there's an outside toilet, which I just showed you before. So there's the outside toilet. Cute. So there's the guest door and there's the outside toilet. And I've also got like a kettle and various things to make it relatively sort of self-contained. So that's it. So home. Yep. It's a tricky situation. Even before when I first came up last year in November, and I realised I was doing most of this on my own, or all of it, and then in the beginning, because in the beginning when it was hot, Anthony was like, I can't be outside, it's too hot, so I was doing all of it on my own in the beginning, and then he started getting more and more motivated as the weather cooled down, which was really lovely, and then we had that 2-month separation during the bitter winter, and during the time when he was gone, Brad stepped up and came in. Brad and I started working on the house, and we got heaps of stuff done. Even though it was raining in winter, we got heaps of inside stuff done. That was amazing. And then Anthony came back without declaring he was coming back. He just sort of came back, and then all of a sudden, we were a couple, but we hadn't healed or dealt with anything properly, and it was like, oh, okay, right, we'll just swim the waters and see how we go, which obviously too much stuff that had to be healed and dealt with to just see how you go. And then obviously I started getting my mojo back and getting really into the garden and I did the rock garden out the front, and we got the chook pen, Brad and I and Anthony got the chook pen happening, and yeah, we got really onto. I got the middle wall out and the bearer up, and made some really good progress. It was really exciting, and yes, the last 3 weeks has been a challenge to get my motivation. It's hard, you know. I want to feel like it's home. I do. I really want this to be my home, hey. But at the same time, it's too big for just me. It's too much for just me to manage. I feel like it's too much for just me. Look, I could barely cope when it was just me managing it, and I had my husband by my side and had him as a companion, and the joy of socialising with him at night time and just knowing he was there, even though I wish we were working as a team. But the first time I was really wishing we'd work as a team because that was what the dream was. But the second time, I was just glad he was here, right? And just loved that he was here. So it is very different for me just living here just with the animals. But not even just living here. I can't even feel secure here because I don't know what Anthony's brother John, what they like. I know that they got this very dark way of looking at life. They can both go into a very dark space. Like, Anthony gets the car stolen from me. And I'll tell you something about cars in the wheat belt, okay? I'll tell you how serious it is to take someone's car off them. And the police know that Anthony did this. All right? So the police are very dark on Anthony and John. Very dark on Anthony and John for what they've done. Because in the wheat belt, if you have fines, if you have car fines, right, infringement fines, they will not suspend your licence. They take so long before they'll suspend your licence. So you can have an infringement fine of quite a high amount of money, and you can have that infringement fine for a long time before they actually finally take your licence off you, because they do not want to take someone's vehicle or someone's ability to drive away from them in the wheat belt, because they know that a car and transport is your lifeline in these these isolated areas. That's how serious it is that you actually can get away with actually having overdue infringement fines, because they just will not suspend your licence willy-nilly, okay? So Anthony getting Duncan to steal the ute from me, and the police know that Anthony did that, was a real big, that for them was like a real clincher for just how psychologically abusive this relationship with Anthony, as he is when he's in the dark, is. And I'll go further. That day when the ute was stolen was the day that I got arrested for family violence. And I was doing an interview. It was an optional interview, but I said, yep, bring it on. I'm prepared to face whatever consequences I need to face for my actions. Do you want a lawyer? What's the point of a lawyer? What does a lawyer do? Oh, it helps you make sure you don't incriminate yourself. Well, I don't need a lawyer. I've got God, and I don't need a lawyer because I'm telling the full truth anyways. So I proceeded to then have the interview. I asked for an advocate, which was my friend Brad, who was up here helping me on the property at the time. And that afternoon I was supposed to be taking him home. He'd been here for 3 days already. And he ended up staying an extra night, and I took him home the next day. And in the ute was all his tools, so he was livid. He was just phenomenally, Yeah, with the interview, which I also call a confession, I just said everything, going back to the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 months, and even going back quite a few years of various things, right, to get to the dynamic of where we are now. And one of the police had like tears in his eyes. He was trying to keep the tears away, and the other cop he had his hands out like he just wanted to hold me. and I could see the deep compassion and care in his eyes, and that's when I finally got the depth of degree of just how horrific the psychological abuse has been. And no wonder I got to a point of going crazy and so broken that I reacted in really in a really broken manner, like in an insane broken down manner, because I was actually pushed to the nth degree of my reserves and my resilience and my patience and my everything. So this is why people who know the full story understand that, like, if anyone sort of needs to cut the ties, it's me. But why am I not? Why am I so compassionate, kind, caring, loving, patient and gentle with this guy, which is why I've had to look at the trauma bond element of it all. And why am I still always full of love for someone who just does such hateful, vengeful, dark actions, like stealing a car, just because I've left, just because he ran. And he said to me, I'm going to, next time things get bad between us, I'm going to, he says, if things get bad between us again, I will go in the camper van and go away for a while and reflect. I will not be running back to my brother. But he actually ran straight back to his brother, and I've got a lot of reasons why that might be, and there's a few people who we're sort of ascertaining why we think that reason, what those reasons might be, and they're very dark reasons. Like, there's nothing light, good, kind, loving or supportive about any of the reasons of why my husband keeps choosing to run back to his brother, okay? And when my husband's in that energy and he chooses to be in that energy and he chooses to go into that dark space, those two together